Welcome, everybody, to the Heath and Bernie Show. I'm Heath.
I'm Bernie.
That's my wife, Bernie.
Welcome into this place.
Oh,
Remember
churchy.
that song?
You so churchy.
I was going to do that. You can't take the church.
No.
You could take the person. I don't know what the saying is, but you know what I mean.
Right. You can't
Remember
do either.
that song?
Yeah.
Welcome. But you know the other one that really got on that to this day. Remember when they was doing the
about to say
altar
got on my nerves.
Yeah. But because we sang it 50,000 times. You oughta come. Oh my God, I can't even remember the beginning of it. That was during the altar call. You oughta come on. What was that?
How that goes. I don't remember how that goes.
I think it had welcome in it too or whatever, but anyway.
When did we sing welcome into this place? In the beginning when like people were coming into church?
To this place, welcome. No, it was like a praise song.
Praise and worship song?
Broken vessel. Yeah, no.
Oh.
It wasn't. It was just a song. It was one of the songs you sang after you did the fast songs, and then before the preacher come up, you would sing "Welcome into this place" because you're not talking about people. You're talking about the Lord into your heart.
Well,
anyway,
welcome to this place.
We digress.
This is the Heath and Bernie Show. We talk about relationship topics. We talk about our relationship. We talk about health and wellness for couples. And we talk about certain fun things that we think are fun for couples to do because everybody's talking about when you're going through life, you're always talking about bills, businesses, babies, and the Bible. But you also want to have fun together. So this podcast or show is hopefully to have some fun. So first thing we're going to talk about are relationships in the news. Relationships in the news.
Interesting.
So when we first started talking about our so the backstory, most of you all know, or some of you all know, for those of you who do not know, Bernie and I are relationship consultants. We have been relationship consultants for 23 years. We've worked with thousands of couples, singles, individuals, try to help them improve their communication, trust, and leadership in their relationships. Groups.
Like girlfriends that want to hang, like team building.
Yes.
Remember that group that came to the boot camp? So
we are in a new space. As you can see, we have a new studio that we're in. Well, not a studio. It's our house.
We moved, but y'all saw that story. If you didn't, check out our YouTube.
Check out our other YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So we moved and we've downsized. And so we used to have a 14-acre facility where we did team building activities. We built a whole ropes course and brought couples out and singles out to do fun activities, but also learn how to improve their trust and leadership in relationships. And so we retired that in 2017. And then since we retired it, we didn't need the land anymore. So we sold the land and we moved here. We're in the middle of downsizing. So now it's like, okay, what are we going to do as far as like working with couples still? Because we still have clients, we still work with individual couples, but on a larger scale, we were like thinking about what could we do. And so the Heath and Bernie Show was one way that we thought would be good to still focus on helping couples and being a helper and a catalyst for couples to try to create a community where they are doing things and together or having fun together or meeting other couples and stuff like that. And we're part of groups, of couples groups where we facilitate those kind of discussions and conversations in the community. But we want to do our own platform.
And we used to do something like this before where we used to have the, I don't know, what you call them people out there, the internet? I don't know.
What do you call them people out there? The internet?
You know what I mean? We would have them ask us a question and we would answer the questions and we was on video. What do you call it? The community? I don't know. What do you call them?
People. Just be asked
people. Okay, people. I ain't know. Okay.
Yeah, so she's talking about we had questions that we would ask people to ask us, and we would respond to them on our. We responded to them and then we posted on YouTube.
Yeah. We did that for a while because we had we still get responses from questions that we did a few years ago.
Years ago. I mean, like 2017.
Yeah.
That's what, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So, so this is just like our way of extending what we do and what we've been doing, which is kind of helping couples, not kind of specifically helping couples navigate tricky parts of relationships, or helping people learn how to have a healthy, loving, trusting marriage or relationship.
Yeah, and have fun.
Yeah.
Don't always have to be problematic.
That's right.
I mean,
that was a big thing that I realized after we kind of retired our business, is that, you know, when you traffic in problem solving, like your whole day becomes about problem solving and everything. And so that thing kind of weighed on me specifically. Yeah. I don't know about you, but it weighed on me heavily because
I'm good at throwing stuff off because I get a lot from all over, but I don't hold on to it. I'm my own concerned person.
Yes,
I don't have enough room for other people's stuff. Only have enough room for mine. It takes up all the room, all day.
But I was getting down and I didn't know why. So I was like, oh, that's the reason why is because I'm not offsetting the problem solving with fun activities. And so that kind of changed the way that we did our business model. And then it caused us to start to be adding some fun activities and stuff in our marriage. And so that's kind of what this is an extension of. So we want to talk about relationships in the news.
In the news.
And the first thing that we want to talk about is that because we're in this space now, when we're doing research about couples and couples topics, we realize that there are a lot of couples now that are having podcasts. You have Pastor Keon and Shawnee. That's your name, right?
Yeah, Shawnee from Basketball Wives.
Yeah, Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife.
Yeah. You know, now she's married to
Keon.
Pastor Keon.
Pastor Keon.
Where are they?
Texas,
I think. Yeah.
So they have their own podcast called The Grown Zone.
Grown Zone.
I watched one episode of it.
It
was kind of cool.
I haven't seen it. Pretty good.
You have the home improvement / investor Egypt Sherrod
and Mike
and her husband Mike. What's his
Johnson?
name? Mike Jackson.
I knew it was a J.
They have their own podcast.
Yeah. On what's it called?
It's called
Money.
What is it? Marriage and Money.
Marriage and Money
podcast, where they talk about marriage and money, which is a very good topic. So there's this whole plenary of people that are now, and there's other ones like Kadeen and
Duvall. I love them.
Yeah, I don't particularly,
I just think they're so cute, and they got their little boys, and
I mean, they're cool. I'm not going to shade, but
Sisters and some of the shows that he's on, but it's not because of him. But I just watched some of the Tyler Perry shows.
But I remember seeing them first on.
They used to have a couch thing they used to do, about couples.
Yeah, I remember that's the first time I remember seeing them. And I was like, who are they? I don't know who they are. And they were on Black Love.
Yeah. They were on Black Love. Yeah,
that's the first time I became exposed to them. And I liked his story because he was talking about how he used to play in the NFL, but when he stopped that, he was trying to get his own, trying to start his own business and stuff and trying to make money. And so he was able to be successful in that. But I like the story of how he transitioned out of the NFL into his own business, whatever that was.
Yeah, he's acting now and other stuff, I'm sure.
But the podcast space is kind of filling up in the area of couples. And so
it is.
What do you think is the reason or the rationale or justification for why a lot of couples are starting to have podcasts now?
I don't know. I feel like it's a trend and the thing to do, because podcast is the thing to do now.
Yeah.
Before it used to be, before it was podcast, what's that thing? Blogging. It was the blogging thing I
had a blog.
Yeah, I remember. It was the whole blogging thing, and now the whole podcast thing has exploded. I also think what made it explode and reason why not just couples, but a whole lot of people are getting podcasts is because I think during the pandemic, everybody was stuck in the house.
That's
and
true.
It was like, bam, what we going to do? Podcast, just start talking or whatever. And, you ain't around nobody. So that was the closest you could get to people was by a darn screen. Yeah. Everything's on the screen.
And everybody was zoomed. They would zoom in and all the stuff.
So I think that's what really exasperated it to make it, because it was already getting big, but I think the pandemic exasperated it.
And I was concerned about that because, when the market is already filled with people doing similar things. There weren't a lot of couples doing podcasts at the time, like during the pandemic.
No.
But that kind of started it. I know Kevin Hart and his wife had this game show that they did, which was kind of funny. But there was a lot of people doing podcasts, and now that couples are doing it, it's like everybody's talking about relationships and stuff and marriage and stuff, which is good.
You know, another reason why I think maybe it started is because, and I notice there's a lot of young people too, and I feel like we have heard from a lot of millennial couples, they don't necessarily have a lot of married friends and a community in the same space as them. Like when we were coming up first married, we had a whole huge community of people we hung with that were going through the same steps and stuff that we were going through at the same time. And I feel like that area is not that big right now for young couples. And I think they are searching for that. And that's another reason why I think it started.
That's absolutely true. They are searching for community of other couples, especially in the Christian space. Yeah. Christian couples that are trying to like live right, but then try to grow their career, grow their personal mental health and grow their families. Yeah. There's a lot of, I mean, in those, that 30, that around 30, 35, between 30 and 40 age, there's a lot of stuff that goes on that they're trying to attain as a couple. And if they don't have like a community to help them navigate that space, then they just be like, I'm right all the time because it's what I say. Yeah,
it's like they're going through it by themselves, which, you know, we had a whole group of people that was going through the same thing. But it's so funny because when I look at those couples, I remember us being them looking at people who've been married 27 years. Now we like the OGs. We the
OGs now.
I know. We the OGs. I was like, how did we get here? It's like, dang.
That's how we got here. Shoot. All the stuff that we done been through.
The old woman is supposed to be imparting wisdom into these young girls. How did I get here?
You're auntie now.
Oh my gosh. I keep seeing people talking about auntie this, auntie that. I'm like, dang, I'm an auntie now.
Yes. And these gray hairs are well earned. Yeah. These gray hairs are earned. So I don't try to like, shy away from it. And that's one of the things that I think I learned as I was getting more rooted and sort of founded in the Lord is that the place and the dispensation that you are in, even though there may be a spotlight on it, and it may be like, okay, Heath, you are this person now. You have this wisdom. You have this information. So, be humble, but yet still try to impact people's lives. And I was reading an article today, and it was talking about how when you're trying to motivate somebody to do something. Yeah. You want to, instead of asking them to do something like, help me with this, you'd say, why don't you be a helper and do this? So instead of taking it talked about changing a verb into a noun. Question?
Could you just ask the question? Did it?
Right. But they talk about changing a verb into a noun. Instead of asking me to help, which is a verb, be a helper, which is a noun. Oh, and so I see. And I was thinking about that when husbands are trying to get married, when they want to get married, they look at, I want to get married, and instead of I want to be a husband. Which is a different. And they look at, I want to get married to see what somebody could do for me. Exactly. I wasn't going to go there, but that's the first thing came to my mind when you said that with these youngins. But anyway, I'm going to let that go because I'm sounding real auntie right now. No, but see, that's the thing.
And I'm feeling like an auntie.
You are auntie now. You are auntie Bernie.
I really am. Yeah.
And so I think it's important that because of our experience, we can share to help other millennials and young adults who are trying to navigate relationships, and single people who are trying to figure out how to like be in a relationship, or get a relationship that lasts. We can provide some insight to them. I mean, some of y'all don't be listening and don't be doing what we say.
Yeah, I can't be single for you or married for you.
That's right. That's right.
I can only just give you information, and what you do with it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What you do with it is up to you.
It's on you. And we can help people figure out. So I think more so than just helping people, what I've identified as who I am and who we are, is we are, I call us catalysts. We help people try to become who they are striving to be. whether it be through relationships, whether it be through business, whether it be through.
You're really good at doing that. I mean, with a lot of people, even if they don't ask for it, you just, in your conversation with them, they start to glean like, oh, I need to be doing whatever based on just on your conversation. Not, you don't be, it's not like you be preaching to them. It's just like, even if they ask you a question, or if somebody's talking to you, you'll turn that conversation and make them think about what they were actually, what they're saying or how they should do or whatever. You're really good at that.
Thank you.
It really, I mean, you are, and it really helps people.
I see myself doing it. I used to try to stop it.
Why?
Because I feel like it's unsolicited advice. They didn't ask me for it. The things that I'm sharing with them is really going to help them do what it is that they say they want to do.
Right.
But,
this is why I think they are happy that you actually help. But the way you do it, it doesn't come off as unsolicited advice. It comes off as making people think critically. Yeah.
You said that very definitively.
Because I felt like Dad, like Eugene Wiggins.
Yeah.
But that's what it makes people do, as opposed to like, making a decision lightly.
Right.
Or going a direction lightly.
Yeah. And so
people appreciate that.
Thank you. And so I've
that's what I'm sharing with y'all.
Become Bernie's sharing me with you all.
Yeah, I do a lot.
She does. And but I've learned to become okay with that. I know when I was serving over at Merge at Zion and Merge, the youth ministry there, after a while, I stopped really getting excited about working with the youth. And my joy in even showing up every Friday was hanging out with the young adults.
Yeah, you've always liked to hang though.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do. But I liked hanging out with them because I knew, okay, Lord, what is it that you're going to share with me?
To help them.
Yeah. On Friday. And I don't know who's going to need help. But invariably, every Friday, somebody would come to me with like, oh, let me ask you a question. Or a topic would come up and I would say something and they'd be like, what do you mean by that? And then we'd have a really very good conversation about that. Yeah. And that became the exciting part for me. And that's kind of how we kind of transitioned into working with millennials. Also, the reason why I think these conversations happen is because your way of thinking of things or responses is not, it's never the norm. It's the out of bounds, coloring outside the line thing that makes people think. Is that a bad thing? No, that's what makes it people think critically because it's not like straight line, which it's not the norm. Yeah. And sometimes people don't need the norm all the time. They know the norm. That's the problem. They need to branch off. I'm preaching to the choir right now. Right. Preaching to myself. Right. God help me. So I've been... So all of this, and I didn't want us to just be talking about us and me, but all of this is the foundation of why we're transitioning to this podcast format. I have another reason why you stopped. Why? One more thing, just go back on you one time. Yes. When you went on that retreat with them little elementary. Yeah. Yes. Them young boys. Yeah, I knew after that you'd be like, I think I'm done. Yeah. I knew that hanging out with 6th graders and 7th graders. Yeah. And the childish ways that they rightfully should have. They should have that. I couldn't take it. I couldn't do it no more. Yeah, it's their right. I couldn't do it. And so I was like, you did the right thing. Mom, I'm not doing this no more. Okay, you can move on to what are you? Oh, but so the last point I was going to make is that one of the things that I saw when I watched Shawnee and Keon's, that's his name, Pastor Keon? I think so. Him. Yeah. When I saw their podcast, he was like, well, we want to just put a disclaimer out there that, we're not experts. And we're married and we've been through a lot and we can share a lot with you, but we're not experts. We experts. I mean, I'm making no bones about it. In relationships, we're experts. We've been doing this job 23 years. And have a lot of wisdom that the Lord has given us and that we've imparted. Yeah, so, we've helped thousands of people. When we talk about relationship stuff, we're experts up in here. So some people don't want to be experts. I don't feel any shame about claiming the expert status because it's been earned. Huh? It's been earned. Are you doing the church mouth? Yes, I am. It's been
Talk
earned.
about me. Look at you.
25 years of marriage.
Yes, sir.
23 years of helping people, of being a helper, being a catalyst. Yeah, so we talk about relationship news and anything else in my notes. Oh yeah, so we're trying to just create this community of helping people, of giving people advice and allowing them to transition through their relationship journey.
To help
not just millennials, but anybody that's seeking a relationship or in a relationship or trying to be successful in one. That's the community that we're creating.
Yep.
Okay. So in the news, the first thing we want to talk about is, so I was reading an article about Marcus Jordan and Larsa Pippen.
Okay.
That is Scottie Pippen's. Scottie Pippen. She's like Real Housewife of Miami.
These two. Well, first of all, the two last names sound like famous people.
So Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen of the
I remember
Chicago
them.
Bulls.
Yep,
right.
I remember Scottie and I remember Michael.
Michael Jordan got a son named Marcus. He's 32.
Okay.
Scottie Pippen married in the same year we did, 1997. Married to his wife Larsa in 97. Married 21 years. Got divorced 2021.
They just got divorced.
Yeah,
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, well,
It's 23.
23 years. So
yeah,
married 23 years. Got divorced. She's 48.
They got divorced like in the middle of the pandemic.
Oh yeah, that was not uncommon.
A lot of people, I know, a lot of people, that pandemic, man,
that jump released.
There's a lot of people in the court.
That jump released pandemanium. It released pandemanium in the pandemic in relationships.
Close quarters was just not good for a whole lot of folk.
Right.
But anyway, we digress.
So, they met about 4 years ago. They through a common friend, Marcus, 32, Larsa,
and Larsa,
48.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's what we doing, Larsa?
Right. That's what they're doing.
That's what we're doing. Okay.
That's what we do. That's what they're doing.
All right.
They ended up having, going out, hanging out. I don't know what their physical relationship was, but she said that she knew something was different when they went out to a club and there was a girl trying to talk to him and she got jealous.
Really?
So she was like, maybe I like him. Maybe I'm trying to make him my man.
Really? That's
my ex-husband's basketball player's
co-worker's son.
So now they're in a relationship.
Wow.
And they're in a whole relationship and are now, mind you, she's also on Real Housewives of Miami. Oh, and so I think he had to sign up for that because he might be on it.
I guess.
She said that, and she said that he did it for her. Like he signed up for her, even though their relationship was not contingent upon that or not based upon that. I don't know. There could be some questions about that, but she said it's not. And she said also that they are not, they're not like really, it's brand new, like really new. Like February is when they made it official. Yeah. And so.
That was just a few days ago.
Exactly. And so the thing that they are doing, they're trying to not even take it slow, but they're trying to keep it like authentic.
Is he like, does he have kids? Has he lived?
I don't know. I'm
just
sure
curious,
Michael Jordan's son has lived.
Well, is he married, divorced, or got kids? Have he been through anything?
They didn't. The article I read didn't say anything about that.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah. So, that's the relationship in the news. But my sort of view on it that I wanted to get your thoughts is when you are, well, two things. When you're coming out of a long-term relationship like that, 20 years, and you've been married and they have 4 kids of their own.
Larsa and Scottie.
They got 4 kids of their own. Picking up and dating somebody much younger than you, like, how do you feel about that? Is that something that you would recommend, or you should wait? Not the age difference, because I'm not saying that, I'm not one to have the conversation that you shouldn't date somebody younger, but picking up and dating somebody so closely related to your life, your husband's life.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
how you feel about that?
Yeah, that's kind of.
What are some challenges that they will experience?
That's kind of close quarters, but I feel so their kids are probably all grown, right? Scotty and Larsa, because
I don't know. I mean, she's only
mostly
48.
gray. But if they got married in 97,
That's only 20 something years.
oh, I don't know. They got 4 kids. I wonder how old the youngest is. But anyway, because that might be problematic with the kids and stuff. I think that could be a little tricky dating the son of your ex's
Legacy.
coworker friend. Yeah. That's too much in the water. Can't you just? I mean, that's too much in the water. That's too much.
Where were y'all hanging out that y'all met at the same place? Like,
yeah, and you a mother of 4. What mother of 4? You still in the clubs? What you doing?
Yeah, I'm wondering what, like, y'all, were they met from a mutual friend? She said, and so that can be the case because y'all parents run in the same circles, but maybe they didn't. But hanging out, you went to a club together, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, and that's what made her. So she pursued him, or he pursued her? What happened?
It sounded like she was like, "Oh, I must really like him," because she got jealous because some girl was trying to holler at him at a club, and so she was like, "No, let me take this dude off the market."
I think that could be a little tricky. Only not because of the age thing, but because of the that's her ex-husband's. I don't want to say best friend, but close coworker friend. I don't know who is
son.
Michael Jordan's friends, because that seemed tricky. He seemed to have some issues.
Still have friends?
I don't know. He seemed to have issues. I didn't see that Michael Jordan thing, but
it was good.
Yeah, it seemed to have some issues with friends and stuff, or them being real. But anyway, I'm sure Pippen had a relationship, a good whatever. So that's kind of like tricky. Like my ex-wife is dating your son. Man, can you talk to you want to talk to your son, man?
So Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen got a little beef now.
What? Because of this?
No, because when Michael Jordan put out that video about
what video?
The Netflix special. When he put out that Netflix special,
which I didn't watch, but I heard it was really good.
I saw it. It was really good. He said something that Scottie didn't like.
Oh.
And so Scottie was like, "Oh yeah?
Oh no.
I'm going to write a book.
Oh no.
And in my book, I'm going to talk about how you really aren't as good as you were, and if it wasn't for me, then
he was his right hand man.
Yeah, but, if it wasn't for me, then you wouldn't be where you are."
Did he write that book?
Yeah, he wrote the book.
You saw it? You read it?
I didn't read it. No. And so people were like, "Scottie, you crazy." People were like, professional NBA players like, "Scottie, you don't know what you're talking about. You crazy." Stop
they
tripping.
saying you're crazy that's not true. He is as good as he was.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never heard no one say that he's not as good as he was. Right. No one. That's the first I ever heard you ever say.
Well, Scottie was like, I mean, I didn't read the book, so I don't know specifically exactly what he said, but the commentary about what he said and the people responding to what he said was like, "Scottie, you tripping. So Michael is that man. You were not."
So what you're telling me is that this ain't probably no good thing between them two.
No. So it's like, Scottie.
This is some mess then.
So but who's mad though? Is like, my son on your.
Jordan might be like, That's probably what he doing.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of messed up.
But you know, Michael Jordan ain't got no. He's divorced too, and married again.
Yeah, he remarried.
So I think from a what potential issues they may have. One, this whole what is it? Miami Housewives, Real Housewives of Miami.
I've never seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't watch any of that stuff.
I watch reality shows, but not that one.
Being put in a spotlight like that, and then having your new relationship with the most famous basketball player of all time's son is now going to be a storyline.
Well, they purposely
have to.
That's ratings. They purposely gonna make that a storyline.
But the way that she's making it seem like it's not really. We didn't do it for storyline.
Okay.
Although some could question it. I don't question it, but some could question it. They're not doing it for storyline. But because they're having such a new relationship in a very public forum, it's going to put a lot of unnecessary stress on the relationship that they would not normally have. And so the relationship will not be allowed to go through the normal arch arc of a relationship the way that it would normally do without the media scrutiny. It's almost like when you have the what's those shows that you watch with Married at First Sight?
Yeah.
Really, it should be Dating at First Sight. I can't watch it because I think it demeans the whole institution of marriage.
I know.
Because it's insulting. It's insulting to marriage that you like, I'm gonna marry somebody I've never seen before.
Exactly.
And we're gonna get married, and I do.
There we go.
And then now we got to figure out if we want to stay married. Yeah. Why do that? Just date at first sight.
Okay,
Be engaged at first sight.
You're getting off.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're digressing.
I'm sorry. But my point was that whenever those couples get together, they don't go through the normal arc of what a relationship goes through, because their relationship is being met by production and a timeline.
Constantly.
Of a timeline that they have to fit to, and activities that they normally wouldn't do. Like, you got to go shoot this event, or you got to go here, got to do that. You're not living your life. You're not having like a regular day. Like Tuesday don't look like a regular Tuesday for you, even though both of them got a lot of money. I don't even know what their jobs are, but presumably so. You still got a production shoot that you got to go to, which takes the whole time and energy away. And I think most importantly, you don't have the connections that you would have authentically, privately, that need to be had to validate the sincereness and authenticity of your relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
So when you're in that kind of spotlight, and like all of them, they tend to be fleeting a little bit in the beginning, and then eventually they will kind of just fade away. I'm not saying I want that to happen, but
I wonder what she was on the Tamara Hall show talking about. I saw her on Tamara Hall, but I had no idea who this woman was. And I was like, what are they talking about? I think she was talking about Real Housewives of Miami and her new relationship with
I
saw Tamara Hall mention her, and they showed her dating this guy, but I had no idea it was this story, because I didn't know who he was or whatever. And I didn't watch the show. It was in passing, but I didn't know who she was or what that was about. But I was wondering what she said on there.
Yeah, so that's what the show is about. So I think for their relationship, they're going to have some challenges that they would not normally have. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see how this thing works out. Next topic, we only have one more for this. So we want to shout out Kevonstage and Melissa, who also have a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
For winning the
Congratulations.
They don't like saying NAACP anymore.
They don't?
No.
What are you supposed to say? That's what it's called.
NAACP.
They want you to say NAACP.
Right. They must not be connected to the culture anymore.
Who is they? Because everybody say NAACP. I don't even know what that is when you say NAACP. That sounds crazy.
Because
that don't even sound right.
They're not connected to the culture no more, because black folks gonna put a nickname on everything.
It don't even sound right when you say NAACP.
I know.
That sounds like some kind of...
That's too hard to pronounce.
That sounds crazy.
NAACP.
Thank you.
And we've been saying it for decades.
As soon as you said that, I felt connected. And when you take it out of that, I don't feel connected at all. I feel like you're talking about something else.
Yeah. I don't know why they want there to be a proper pronunciation. So y'all trying to fit in instead of being different.
I don't understand why they want trying to change
Just let black folks call you what black folks been calling you.
I mean... Listen,
you got a nickname. You can't run from your nickname.
It works. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Stop trying to run from the nickname you rightfully earned, and it has some merit and dignity. You trying to rebrand yourself as the NAACP. That's like when Prince George's County, the county that we live in, Prince George's County, Maryland.
We don't live in Prince George's County anymore.
The county we used to live in Prince George's County, Maryland.
Right. Okay.
Ode to Prince George's County, Maryland. They're called PG County.
PG County, yeah.
But they started saying, we don't want to be known as PG County anymore. We want to be known as Prince George's County.
Oh my gosh, stop it. That's too much. I'm gonna mess up the wording. Leave it alone.
Yeah. Stop it.
Yeah.
Nobody's trying to, but so anyway, Kevonstage.
I know, we keep getting off.
I know we follow them, been following them
for a while,
him for a long time.
Yeah.
And have, he's been a big influence on like some of the things that I've aspired to do, like doing podcasts and some of the video production stuff that I've done.
Remember we saw him in the, African Museum. On the fourth floor in the media or entertainment.
Museum.
Yeah, African American Museum. He's on the wall in the entertainment section. I remember seeing him. I'm like, what? Here?
So he's been we got to go back because we didn't finish that whole tour. It was just too long.
Yeah, we only got to the
maybe
fourth
when the
floor.
cousins come up, then we'll go back.
Oh, yeah. But it was when it first opened and it was long lines and all that. Ain't nobody doing that long line stuff.
So, but shout out to Kevonstage and his wife Melissa for
congratulations
that award. They were like, because we've watched their podcast and they was him and Angel. Here's the thing, and they was out campaigning, trying to win, and this is his third year he's been nominated. And the first two he didn't win, and so I was like low key rooting for him that he would win, and I'm glad that he did. So shout out to Kevonstage and Melissa. For the NAACP, what is it? The outstanding social media personality.
Congrats.
So we want to talk about the CEO
next
energy.
Okay, so next on the agenda is health and wellness. So pre-pandemic.
But talk about CEO, what that means.
I'm going to get to that.
Okay, she's going to get to that.
Pre-pandemic, we was doing good with health and wellness. I know I was. But then I don't know what you probably were. No, I think you were. You were doing real good.
I was doing
because
good.
you was getting good. Yeah. And I didn't. I like little girth, but on you, and you was getting way too little. I'm
like, I was losing too much weight. He
looked like a little boy. I look like Big Mama next to him. We can't be doing that. No,
I don't look like a little boy. Never did. No, as a grown man, I never look like a little boy.
When you get real skinny, I need some more girth. I'm like,
I need you to join me down here in these lower rungs.
I was joining you
join me down here these lower rungs.
So pre-pandemic,
okay,
I was doing good. You was doing good too, whatever. But since then, I call it the COVID cushion times 2 because we've been this actually year 3 going in this COVID thing. But anyway, I'm in the process of trying to reverse that and in like a health and wellness journey, lose some weight and get this COVID cushion stuff off of me. So. And since I've retired, I have become the CEO of my life, which stands for Chief Enjoyment Officer of my life. I did not say, you notice I didn't say, what is that? Work-life balance?
Oh, yeah.
It ain't no work. we say I retired. So it's CEO.
Hey, Bernie, what are you going to be doing during your retirement?
What
are you going to be doing during your retirement?
He's asking me that question because I hate that question. You know why I hate that question? People ask that all the time. When you don't work for 34 years, I've done what I'm going to do. So it's time to retire. That's what it's called. So, I mean, I'm be doing whatever I feel like doing. And I'm going to be doing the Chief Enjoyment Officer, CEO of my life, Chief Enjoyment Officer, which one of those things is trying to be in charge of this health and wellness. As you know, I be walking every day. We try to eat right. We always try to eat right and be healthy and do all those kind of things. Right. Especially as OGs, you have to. Yeah. And that's why I had no time. That's why I had to retire. I had time to be dealing with a job. Your health and wellness is a full-time job. Jesus.
I ain't have time to be dealing with no job.
What? It's a full-time job trying to keep everything straight when you're getting older. So
meanwhile, I'm going to work every day.
Well, he got a few more years, unfortunately. Or fortunately.
Yeah, fortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
So anyway, the health and wellness thing in the news, there's this big talk now about erythritol. It's a sugar substitute because everybody know sugar is bad for you. They, back in the day,
but it's rooted in the area of keto.
Well, I was getting ready to say that erythritol is a sugar substitute, right? It's a sugar substitute that people use who's on keto. Now, we are not keto. I am a flexitarian. That's what I call myself. You know why? Because some days I'm vegan, some days I eat meat, some days I don't eat meat, but I might have some eggs. So you see, I can't just be one thing. We a little bit of everything. I try to make sure we eat healthy and I cook stuff, try to make it healthy.
She started like buying like organic chicken and and more healthy.
Yeah, I
chicken
try
products and
to.
stuff.
Yeah, because our meat in America, all that stuff is bad. He
Meat,
don't
chicken
care.
is chicken.
Right, I know. But stuff in America, because we all our soil, everything is so bad here. So I try to do good so we don't end up statistics like we are in in the whole black community, the same old heart attack, cholesterol, blah, blah, blah. See, that's the stuff you got to be fight against. But this erythritol, sugar substitute, is a study that came out, and it's blowing up the social media and the whole keto world because it's a sweetener, and they're saying that it can cause strokes and heart attacks, the main thing we running from.
Yeah. And when I read that, I was like, Bernie,
and I he sent it to me.
What do we got that got erythritol in it?
Erythritol.
Arthritis in it.
Because
what do we got that got the erythritol in it?
So when I read that,
what's the Aristotle on that? What's he got? What Aristotle got in it?
Okay, stop.
Okay.
So, because I do use things like monk fruit that has erythritol in it. I buy a few keto snacks that has erythritol in it. Stuff because everybody got a sweet tooth. So to stay away from sugar, we try to use things that don't have it in it. But this study came out. So I went to all my doctors that I follow, Dr. Berg, Dr. Guntry. I still ain't heard from him. He haven't said anything about it. It was another doctor. There's several doctors. Oh, Thomas Liao or whatever. I don't know how to say his last name. He's not a doctor, but he's in that community. But they all talked about the study and how it basically is not saying, well, the social media and the news and everything has saying erythritol can cause stroke and heart attack. But when you read the study, it's not saying that it's a causation, it's a correlation, but they're saying that it doesn't, which
means what?
That means the study is not saying that it can cause you to have a stroke or a heart attack. It's saying that it's a correlation, so it can be related. But they were knocking the study because they're saying that the study was inconclusive because they never gave people a dietary erythritol to eat and use or drink or whatever to find out. They use it like I read some of the study, but not all of it. But they use it in a petri dish and said it did something to the blood.
They did some kind of clinical research
platelets.
on it, and with some blood, and then they found out that this got erythritol arthritis in it.
Also, what everybody has said, the doctors that I follow who are talking about this, they also said that the people that they used were very, very sick already. They already had a bunch of heart attacks and strokes, and they were diabetic. Plus, they also said that our bodies already create erythritol in our bodies, but you create that erythritol when. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? What? What okay. Anyway, they say our bodies create erythritol. Am I saying it wrong? Erythritol, whatever.
I thought you were about to say urethra.
Listen, it's a hard word to say, but the body, the study also said, and the doctors that I follow that I went and watched, they say the body already creates erythritol, but it creates it when it's in a stress state, when you are like obese or are having heart attacks already or already diabetic and have diabetes. Your body already creates erythritol. And those are the people that they use who already had erythritol, like probably high levels. So they're saying, a lot of them were saying, the study does not say there's that erythritol is bad and can cause heart attacks and stroke, but the social media is saying that. But these studies come out all the time that say, oh, don't eat salt, don't do this. Like back in the day, there's like, don't eat fat. But now 20 years later, when they were saying do low fat, now we found out low fat is horrible because what they did is put sugar and stuff. And now you got an obese community of people with all these diseases because they demonized the good fat like avocados and olive oil and stuff that's good for you. They just threw out everything, but really we should have been eating good fat because that's good for you as opposed to all this sugar stuff and all these carbs. But anyway, I now sound keto, but I do a little bit of everything, like I said.
So Bernie, Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying. So the bottom line is, a lot of the doctors I was following, they were saying you need more information. The study does not say it will cause that. It will cause heart attacks and strokes. But they used very sick people, but it was saying there was a correlation with these sick people. But they were saying they don't know. They were using sick people who probably already had high levels of erythritol in their bodies already, because we create erythritol in our bodies. And
the reason why this was important to us, because Bernie, you should see our pantry. Our pantry, Bernie has
TMI.
Bernie has 4 shelves in our pantry dedicated to like the special kinds of sugars and creams for coffee and just
that
stuff
don't
that
have sugar in it.
I have no idea what it is. But
you noticing this now, because here at the other house we had a huge pantry, so I had my whole side.
Right.
And now it's a little more compact, so it's like you seeing it all. Before you didn't see it.
There's like, I have a little small
sections.
corner on a shelf dedicated to my snacks and the stuff that I want.
You have a couple of corners on the shelves, not just one little section.
And my point is, our whole pantry is full of stuff that Bernie has bought from either Keto supply people or
different
people
companies
that she's found on the internet from different companies that she's wanted. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying
it's substitutes. There's substitutes, and
so there might be might have been some erythritol in those things. And I was like, yo, Bernie, you should check this out. And come to find out, one of the vitamin
C we got.
She just bought. I think you just bought.
I just bought it. I bought more because I had some, and you was like, and you said you needed more vitamin C because I don't want him drinking orange juice, because he started drinking orange juice and that's full of sugar. I was like, why don't you just take vitamin C? Regular sugar is full of sugar. So I bought vitamin C, and so we was taking that. And then he said, why didn't you buy another bottle? So I bought another bottle and it's from Dr. Berg. It's from Amazon, but it's Dr. Berg. But when you said that, when you showed me this study, and it just came in the mail the other day from Amazon, I was like, oh wait, let me look to see if it got erythritol in it. And it
Number one ingredient, erythritol. Erythritol.
You're gonna make me, and now I can't say it. Now we be talking about urethra.
So I was like, well, I'm not trying to catch no stroke and no heart attack. So we had to throw the bottle away. But then that's when we did some more research on it.
Before we start throwing $30 in the trash.
Yeah. Before you found out it was like, oh, okay, it may not be that bad. So we had to go digging in the trash can last night.
Before he took the trash out.
The trash out.
Yeah.
And like, okay, because it's a brand new bottle. I think I opened it.
You opened it, but you didn't. You took
I took the little thing out, and then I put it back on, threw it away. So I was like,
and then I threw my bottle away.
We're going to get them the medicines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then after I did more research and looked at some of the doctors, and I follow.
You threw some monk fruit sugar away.
I threw a whole box of cookies away that I had that wasn't even open.
Yeah.
I didn't throw the sugar away. Yeah.
I thought you threw the sugar away.
The sugar, the monk fruit sugar is still in there, but it's the bag is basically empty. So I didn't have the heart to throw that away yet. And I said, wait a minute, before I start throwing stuff away, I need to do some research, because I already threw some stuff away. But after I started going and looking at my doctors, I was like, oh, let me hold off. So that's why we went back and got that $30 out of the trash.
Yeah.
Well, really $60 because I threw mine away too.
That's right. You did.
Both of them.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, we both are trying to cut back on our sugar, because sugar is the devil, and it is the cause of any issues you have: inflammation, arthritis, diabetes, cholesterol, heart disease. They try to blame eggs and all these salt and all that kind of stuff for all these diseases. It's not. It's sugar. Sugar is the devil, and it is everything. The reason why we have the substitute, because we want to not eat so much sugar, but we're going to just continue to slowly get off of, not eat so much sugar,
but the thing for me is bread, though. I've been doing good for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, you are a bread person. I'm not a bread person, but bread turns to sugar. But anyway, but yeah, you are really a bread person. I'm only a bread person when you put butter and sugar with it, and that's cake. That's my problem anyway. But yeah, so that's health and wellness, especially as being OGs and at this age. Yeah. We have to be in charge. You have to be the CEO of your body. And that's different than chief enjoyment officer. I mean the actual CEO of your health and wellness, because you have to ask questions when you go to the doctor. What happened the other day? I went to the doctor. I remember I had to get, they was trying to do a follow up because I had to get, I was getting a scan done, a CT scan done. I'm supposed to have it done. And when I looked at the preparation, they was telling me I had to come. What was irritating me is like, I need to come the day before and pick up something and drink it. Now I had this done last year. I ain't had to pick up nothing and drink it. So when I called back, I said, hey, listen, I'm calling because this is saying that to prepare for this scan, I got to pick something up day before and drink it. And
that's what you normally have to do when you have like a colonoscopy.
I did not have to do that the last time for this scan. So, and then the girl's like, well, no, yeah, when you have this scan, you have to pick it up. I mean, you have to drink something. I was like, I didn't have to drink nothing last time. And I had these contrast things
you
done.
gotta be on top of your
If you
stuff.
don't ask questions, they will have you. And so I just got off the phone with her because my phone was ringing, and then I was on hold, and she said, "Well, let me go check and ask." And so I just hung her because my phone rang, and I said, "I'll deal with this later." Come to find out, she called me back. She said, "You know your stuff. You right. You don't have to drink that."
See?
I said, "Y'all trying to kill people."
Oh my gosh.
That's why you got to be the CEO. You got to ask questions and talk back, not talk back, but you know what I mean. You can't just take their word. They don't know.
Right.
You got to know. But anyway, that's the health and wellness section.
Thank you. Good job, Bernie.
You're welcome.
No urethra in our.
Would you stop? You know what a urethra is, right?
Yes, I do know the
Good Lord, that is not
urethra.
We were talking about erythritol, sugar substitute.
So next topics.
Next.
Reaction to video. So now is when we react to some YouTube shorts and some Instagram stuff, Instagram videos that we saw. So have a relationship bent to them. So yeah. So let us cue up.
You got the sound where it won't echo?
I do have the sound that it won't echo.
Okay.
So this is a video from Snoop Dogg. There is some
he was on the
parental advisory. There is some language, it's Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, it is Snoop. Yeah. So cover your ears.
Right.
I was getting into it with my girlfriend at the time, and we just kept getting into it. All of the niggas on Death Row Records was like, man, f bitch, nigga, you Snoop Dogg. You can have any bitch you want with you, some hoes, nigga. And that nigga Tupac came to me and said, man, f what they talking about. That girl love you. You need to marry her. And I listened to what he said, and I married my wife, and like 20-something years later, we still married.
27 years.
He said 20-something years.
But on there it said 27.
27?
Yeah, it said we're still married. Before it said 27. Almost 30 years.
That's a long time. And then, Snoop Dogg got a long storied history about like him and what he says on videos about women and stuff like that. But it's interesting to see like the whole time, most of that time he was married to his now and still wife. But what I wanted to talk about with this is when you have your friends and your people who are supposed to be like really, really close to you, and you're trying to consider whether you're going to stay with somebody or leave. And you have some boys saying, man, forget that person, forget that girl, man. Go ahead and leave her, man, whatever. Mm-hmm. Or like some of your girls saying, man, you just go ahead and leave him. He ain't no good. He ain't do this. He don't do that. How do you determine like who you listen to? Because his other friend was like, man, forget them. That girl loves you. You need to marry her.
That's what Tupac told him.
Right. But Tupac was no bastion of
don't hate on Tupac.
I'm not hating on Tupac right now, but he wasn't no bastion of like a moral source for him to be like, oh yes, I'm gonna listen to you because your relationships are very successful. It's Ben. But how do you how do you determine like who do you listen to when it comes to, and that's kind of why we talk about having a community, because you need a group of people that that you can trust, that have sound advice and your best interest, and not just trying to tell you to go get some hoes out there, because that's what they do.
So who do you listen to? I think you should listen to someone who has what you trying to follow and get, and that is something that's going in your direction of, and hopefully that's a good environment, something good. Somebody who has a successful relationship, successful girlfriend, successful wife, husband, or whatever, and somebody who's has something that what you are aspiring to be.
But neither one of those crew had that at the time. Like Snoop's crew,
I'm
Death Row
not
Records.
relating that to him. You said you were saying if you had this group of friends, some of these group.
What's that?
I don't know. My phone does that. I wasn't talking about that because you gave me another scenario when you asked the question. It was the same scenario, but it was a group of people, not this lifestyle.
Oh.
You understand what I'm saying?
I understand, but my point, which actually goes to my point, is that you may be around some people that aren't exhibiting any of the things that you want. Or some people may not even know that's what they want. Like, Snoop, if Tupac was like, man, forget them, go ahead and marry that girl. I don't know if Snoop was thinking, oh, maybe I should get married. Maybe he was thinking like, I'm just going to be out here in the streets. I think
the key thing to me when Tupac told him that out of what he said between all the curse words.
Yeah.
My ears was like, the key thing that I heard him say was that girl loved you.
Yeah.
And I think Snoop knew that because and before he was getting ready to blow up, you want to start off with somebody who's your ride or die, somebody who know you when you ain't famous. So right. I think that's what he was thinking of and what made him be like, I need to stick because she do love me. Because the other people, when you get big, gonna be loving you because you Snoop.
That's true.
I love you because what's his real name? I don't even
Calvin
know.
Brodus.
What? Get out of here. Are you kidding me?
Calvin Brodus.
What?
Yes.
I don't even know the boy's real name. See, she know Calvin. Mm-hmm. That's why he was like, married her, because she knows who Calvin is. Snoop, whatever. No, that's why. That's why he probably married her, because she knows Calvin.
I think that I agree with what you're saying. I think from when you are at that age, because he's I think a year younger than me. Oh yeah. So he was 26 when he got married.
You was 27.
Right. And so when I was 27 or 26, or when I was thinking about trying to get married, it was important for me, like you said, to have a group around people that were doing the things that I was. I remember we used to hang out with, which was a couple that was married, and this is like before I decided to get married. But I was going to say, when you say you talking about that group, y'all used to hang out. When I was single, my friends when I was single. Yeah. But we used to go over there, and he used to explain, like, we used to be hanging out with him and his wife and stuff. So I was like seeing all the wrong information. Ooh, no, I shouldn't say that. Well, they got divorced. So.
Well, hey.
But I used to see, I learned a lot from him. Yeah, I learned a lot.
You learned what not to do.
Not even. I'm just kidding. Because there were certain things that I learned from him, like he did love his wife, and I saw how that looked from his perspective, while still being a cue that was reminiscing on his days of old, and I was still in my days of current. But yet I still saw how he was like, as a man, he was like, I want to provide for, I want to do these things for, I want to take care of, I want to, make sure I buy my wife these things. I was like, oh, okay. So I see how you move in doing that, and seeing that, and seeing how she was receptive of that. Yeah. Was very interesting to see. It was like, oh, these are like real couples. Cause up until that point, you really didn't see couples interacting at the age of 24, 25. You didn't see couples interacting. You saw at church, at most, you saw brother and sister, deacon and deaconess, so-and-so, but you didn't see them interacting in social areas. Oh, yeah. We used to go over their house. So I got to see how like these people live and how their house was made up, and how she liked to decorate, and how he was like, I don't care. But it's so funny because when you got married and then you brought me around that group and hanging out, I was like, I didn't like some of the things he would be saying and doing. Immediately, I was like, and that was, and that was eye opening to me, because I didn't know that some of the things he was saying wasn't some of the things you shouldn't say. Actually, I did know, but I was like shocked that she was okay with it. Yeah, and see, that was the fallacy that you got. Yeah, yes, and I realized, oh, this doesn't work on Bernie.
No.
I was like, oh, I can't say that. I can't say this around Bernie because this is not going to work here.
No.
But I learned that on our honeymoon.
You learned on the honeymoon?
I think I learned it a little bit before our honeymoon.
I think so.
But I think it resolved.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, so all the stuff that I saw between that couple, which was good information, that stuff don't work here. So I need to figure out what works in my marriage.
Yeah, marriage is not a cookie cutter.
Right. And so once I realized that all that I saw was a fallacy and was good for them, but not for us, I was like, okay, so let me go through the process of learning and figuring out. And that's one of the things that I think couples should really, really recognize, is that you really don't know nothing about yourself or the other person.
No.
When you're getting married or when you're engaged. And it's not that you haven't gone through your own life and have done any kind of work or therapy or whatever and learned yourself, but there are certain things that happen when you get married that you can't prepare for.
Yeah, you only get it once you get married, and the close quarter combat. When you get up in that,
yeah,
meaning get together, living together, whatever. When you're married,
and all the issues that come up when you do live together and married,
bringing all those two backgrounds together that are completely different. I call it close quarter combat. Yeah, that's what Heath calls it.
Right when you get married, it's like, okay, we're competing for whose ideas are going to win out.
That's when you're right, and well, that's when you got to start making decisions. They're like about, oh, okay, that's what this is.
What is that decision
about? Like, you can either live in peace and chaos. My thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna either live in peace and chaos, and so you got to make a decision on which way you're going to go with that. And a lot of people make the wrong decision and be going to the left.
Yeah.
And be living a lot of chaos, which kept us in business. But anyway.
Yeah. But just finishing off that topic with that couple, I think with them, when I learned that the things that they were doing, that I saw from them didn't work, I realized, okay, I gotta find my own thing. But still, the community of having him and like some other couples around allowed us to be like, okay, what it does is it helps normalize the crazy.
Yeah.
It helps normalize, like, okay, I'm not crazy, or I may be crazy, but this is normal. These things that happen in a marriage,
it's normal that they're
normal,
happening. Yeah.
Right.
And it's just an adjusting period. Everybody goes through that adjusting period, and it's up to you on how you deal with it. Yeah. You could stake your claim on your heel.
Yeah, you could
live in that chaos.
You can fight for your right to be right, and have misery.
Yes, you basically should have stayed single if you're doing that, because I mean, marriage is a beautiful thing,
right?
And God made it for you to be a better person. I mean, if you wanted to stay who you were and have all those isms that you don't know that you have, and then when you get married, they all come out because somebody letting you know, I don't like those.
Yeah, and that's how stuff be coming out. That's how you realize what doesn't work.
Right.
I don't like that.
Right. But if
you're fighting for your right to be right.
But it refines you, it makes you better. That's what the Lord wanted to happen.
If you let it refine you.
If you let it.
Some people try to drag their we used to do this thing when we had couples come over where we would create we'd have suitcases and we had hula hoops. Yeah. And we would tell them each one of these hula hoops represents a stage in your life. And we had it like a V. It would be like a V, and then there would be one hula hoop. And so each hula hoop represents a different stage in your life. And when they got down to the part of their lives where they had a sort of a trauma or issue, we would give them like some luggage. So by the time they got to the part where they were meeting together, they had like both of them had their own baggage and luggage.
Much luggage.
But they're trying to fit into this one hula hoop.
Yeah.
And then
too bad you don't have a picture of that and you could have flashed it. We have a picture.
I'm sure I have pictures of that.
No, you do. I'm saying you could have flashed it.
Right, but we don't show our clients. So.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. Duh. I forgot.
But when we would have these, when they would get down to the place where they were in the one hula hoop together with all this baggage.
Where they got that's the married circle.
Right. It was like, okay, are you going to fight for your right to keep your baggage and keep the things that are precious to you because that's what got you here?
Yeah.
Or are you going to realize, okay, we can't move forward successfully with all of our baggage, so we have to agree what stuff is going to be put aside, and the conversations that would be had in that space, were like, oh wow, I really need to look at some of these things and figure out like how we can move forward without bringing all my baggage with me.
I really liked that exercise because
it was good.
It really made it very visual for them to see where they came from, who they actually are. Because we started when they were elementary.
Yeah, elementary age.
They would start in their circle, their hula hoop, and talk about what they did, what they liked, whatever as a child, what they went through. And so it really, each person got to hear that. And it really made it very visual for the person to like see who you married.
And then
and what's coming.
And the point that I would make when they would get to a place where they're trying to move together within the same hula hoop is that if you're going this way, and you're going this way and you all meet at this vector point, what sometimes happens is if you're going this way, what you'll try to do is drag your mate to go that way because that's the way you've always gone. Or she would drag you this way. But what you really need to do is realize y'all need to go that way.
Yeah.
And what we showed them through that exercise was that the things that you are fighting for your right to be right on are actually pulling your mate in the direction that the relationship should not be going. And once they realize that, sometimes they got it simply, sometimes they didn't get it simply. But once they realized that through other activities that we did in either working with them individually or through the boot camp, then they were like, oh, okay, there's a recognition of, okay, I need to give up some things. But then it's like, okay, now how do I do that? That's a whole different thing that they struggle with.
How do you do it and stay consistent with it, which is...
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
Yep.
But the awareness came definitely through the exercise.
Yeah, that was a good exercise.
Okay, I think we've exhausted this topic.
Yep.
Next video.
Good job, Snoop, marrying that ride or die. Oh, I love this couple.
They are funny. And this is something that, well, we'll let it play and then we'll talk about it on the other side. So she's making her hubby apologize for what he said in her dream.
In my dream.
So you're seriously not going to apologize for last night?
What do you mean apologize for what?
What do you mean for what? You called me stupid in front of everybody.
Who's everyone?
I don't know who they are. They were in my dream.
In your dream, baby?
Yes.
You are sure you saw me?
I saw you. I don't know who else.
What was I wearing?
It was a dream.
What was I wearing in the dream? What did I do?
I don't know. But you did it, and you said it, and it was embarrassing. So until you apologize, I'm not no Bambi nothing.
Sorry.
He said, what was I wearing in the dream?
He was like, I'm sorry.
Oh, is that what he said at the end?
Yeah, he's like, I'm sorry. He just said, what was I wearing? What was I wearing?
Why does he want to know that? It was a dream.
He's so dramatic. He's like, if it was me, prove that it was me. What was I wearing? What clothes did I have on? That's what he was like. He was like, prove that it was me. But the reason why this is funny, why is this funny, Bernie?
Because I have had several dreams and wake up and ask Heath, why did you do that? He's like, what?
I be getting blamed for stuff that happened in her dreams all the time.
Yeah, you were horrible a few times. It was, oh my God.
Look, she be waking up mad like, I don't like you. I'm like, what happened? So now I know. I was like, what happened in the dream? It's like, you did this, you did that. And it was like so mean. And then you kissed her and then you looked back at me and everybody
ignored
like,
me.
oh my.
It was like, oh my gosh, who is this man?
It wasn't me. It was just a dream.
I'm just glad I woke up and looked over at you like, I'm glad it's a dream, but I don't like him.
I was like, it's just a dream. It was just a dream. Then to this little touched.
I had to
in the morning.
go a little ways for me to forget and remember that it was just a dream. But
yeah,
when I saw that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I do that a lot all the time.
Does that happen to y'all? Do y'all, if y'all who are been in a relationship, and do y'all be mad at y'all men for the dreams that you have? Stop eating ice cream before you go to bed.
Oh, really?
Or whatever you eat to make you do that.
What's happening? You've had a few dreams too. One time you said something like, "Why? I don't know. It's been a while, but I haven't had one of those in myself." But you said something like, "I did something."
I don't recall.
Oh my gosh, you had one time because you was mad and you was like,
I do not recall.
Okay.
So yeah, let us know if you've had those issues in your marriage, because it's just something that you gotta just deal with.
Thank God they dreams, because some of the ones you were horrible. It was like Denzel and what's that movie that I can't stand? I couldn't stand him for a while.
Training Day.
Jeez, I hated him in that movie. You wasn't anyway. It was just the way I hated him in the movie. That's how I was hating in the dream. It was terrible. You were horrible.
I'm sorry.
Thank God it was a dream.
I'm sorry. See, I apologize. Okay, next video. And the last one.
Last video.
Oh, this is something interesting.
A dating hack, just something that will help you in your relationship with your significant other. Okay, we call it the 7-7-7 rule. Okay, every 7 days you go on a date. Every 7 weeks you go on a night away. Every 7 months you take a little vacation together. It's the 7-7-7 rule. And if you want to get extra credit, every day you get 7 minutes in heaven. And I'll let you choose however you want to define that one. Here's a marriage hack.
Every day you get 7 minutes in heaven?
7 minutes in heaven.
What the heck is that? I don't want to know.
I want to know.
I know you want to know.
I want to live in heaven for 7 days. I want to live in heaven for 7 days.
That's not what he said.
7 minutes.
Look at you. Took a yard.
I did. I put that down on 7 days. I just saw 7 days.
So that's a great little dating thing people could do. 7. What was the first 7?
7.
On the 7th, for 7 days you go on a date. I mean, not you don't. On the 7th day you go on a date. 7 months you go on a vacation.
Sure?
Yeah. I think 7 you go on a date. 7 months you go on a vacation. No, a night out, and then 7 you go on a vacation. Let's listen to it again.
Don't know.
I got it right.
A dating hack, just something that will help you in your relationship with your significant other. Okay, we call it the 7-7-7 rule. Okay, every 7 days you go on a date.
See,
every 7 weeks you go on a night away. Every 7 months you take a little vacation together. It's the 7-7-7 rule. And if you want to get extra credit, every day you get 7 minutes in heaven. And I'll let you choose however you want to define that one.
Hey. All I know is 7 minutes of heaven. That's what I mean. All the other ones.
That could be ice cream or dark chocolate. So, but what do you think about that dating hack?
I think that is good. I mean, we have not done that.
No.
That's not something that we've done. And I think that as a couple who is in a different stage in our life, and
we're in a completely different stage.
We have more freedom now.
We do.
We and I wanted to be able to do stuff with you that was more spontaneous and more fun. Not more fun, but do fun things with you.
Yeah.
More frequently. That's it. More frequently.
Yeah.
But even though we've been in this space, almost 7 months, we've been doing more things, I think, than we have before. But it doesn't seem like there's any structure to it.
Yeah, I don't think we're still getting settled, I feel like here. It's still kind of getting settled with, because events had to happen.
Right.
And so now we're starting to, I feel like we're getting ready to.
Oh, went out?
Yeah, that was smoking.
Okay.
The candle went out. I feel like we're getting ready to start getting into that stride, starting in the not the next couple of months, but in the year of being here, okay, we would have been here a year now.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll start getting stride because we haven't even read our electric bikes over here with all these places to go over here. We haven't. But when we came, it was hot. It was July, but we had PTSD with moving.
We had PTSD.
We just needed a vacation.
We just needed to stop doing everything.
Yeah,
and
that's
sit
why we
down
went on that
and
cruise.
Close our eyes and be quiet.
Yes.
And just be like, We just need to do that.
But I think this is a good rule that we could start doing. Like, well, I don't know about 7. Well, shoot, I got all the time in the world.
Yeah, you do.
In 7 days we go on a date, and then 7 weeks we go. This fits into your RV thing.
It does.
Speak more. 7 weeks we go for a weekend or a night out or overnight thing. Remember, because how you were saying that when you went to the RV show, the RV people who have RVs was telling you you should just go over like weekenders and not long, because you want to go. He want to do RV cross country. That's his dream. But before we get to RV, they were saying, you should just do little nighters or whatever. So that could be just 7 weeks. Every 7 weeks we go on little nighters, and then every 7 months we go on a vacation.
Yes. Let's do that.
What else do you have to say about it besides yes, Heath?
Yes.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I've been wanting an RV for
a long time.
15 years.
A long time.
But we could not afford it. One, we didn't have we couldn't afford it.
No.
And it just wasn't the right time. It would have been too much. And then we bought a van.
We got a van instead
for my
because
birthday.
it was your birthday and you was pouting because he turned 50 during the pandemic and we wasn't going to be able to do nothing. So we were like, we said, well, let's just, instead of get an RV, and your car broke down at the same time. It was a whole lot of stuff happening. So we couldn't get the RV and a new car. So we had to get him a new car. And then we said, well,
we was almost close to getting an RV.
Yeah.
But my
then
car
we
broke
said,
down.
let's just go ahead
died.
and get the, because I was like, we can get the RV or the car, but you're going to be driving that RV around like a car. It's up to you.
I had to think about it. I had to
He
legit.
did think
I
about
was like,
it.
let me
I was like,
think
you're
about
going to be
it.
driving it around.
Because,
that's
I
going to
don't
be your
mind.
car. We can't have both.
If I got me a little van situation that I wanted, I would have I don't mind driving the van around. I drove a big SUV anyway. So.
Yeah. So then we got the van for his birthday, and then he was going to renovate it and turn it into an RV. So he started the process, and then the van started acting a complete fool. On and off. And when stuff acts on and off like that, he'll try and fix it, and after a while he'd be like, I don't want to play in the sandbox
I don't want to do it no more. No,
I don't want to play
I don't want to do it no more.
So right now we still have the van and it's working right now. He's not going to renovate it though. He decided we're just going to get him an RV. Eventually we'll get an RV, what he always wanted. I don't know what size and what kind or whatever, or when. Look at that. Jesus, help me, Lord. So, Lord have mercy. We'll get an RV eventually. I don't know when.
Next year.
A couple of years.
Next year.
Yeah, in a couple of years.
Next year.
I don't know about next year, but a couple of years.
We're getting
I
it
don't
next
know
year.
how are we going to pay for that? That's what I wanted to know.
We're getting an RV next year somehow,
some
way.
Oh my gosh. I hate these absolutes when you be
What?
talking
You
like
like the
that.
absolutes when I said we was moving?
Think about it. Not at first. For a long time. Each time we move, I be backpedaling, and then I get on board.
Eventually, you came to like it.
Eventually.
And my decisions have been sound thus far.
The van.
No, the van was your decision.
It was our decision.
Yeah, but it was your idea.
It was my idea because you was pouting.
I was pouting
so much in that pandemic about 50 and
first of all, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that.
You were
I
pouting.
just was sad.
So, oh my
I was
gosh,
sad
the sadness
because
was overwhelming.
No, this is why. Because I have been wanting an RV for
a long
15 years. And I said on my 50th birthday, I'm going to take off 3 weeks or so. We're going to do a cross country RV trip.
Yep.
And I told you when I was 44, I was like, in 6 years, we're buying an RV and we're going to do a cross country trip. I'm just letting you know now so we can prepare for it. Then the pandemic hit at 50. So I was sad that we can't go nowhere.
And your car broke down. We were supposed to. I thought were we going to buy an RV for your 50? Or we were going to rent?
We were going to buy an RV.
But your car. That's what I'm saying.
The car broke down.
Do the car and the RV at the same time.
And so I was sad about that.
Yes.
And you were dismissive about it. Like, just get over it.
I wasn't. I was trying to.
No, you were dismissive.
I wasn't dismissive. You know what I was doing? Like, oh my God, is the rapture coming? It's a pandemic. That's what I was thinking about when the world was shut earth closed and you moping around because you turning 50 and we can't get an RV. I'm like, the earth has closed. So that's what I was paying attention to. And then I had to start paying attention to you because you was really, I was like, oh, he's serious about this sadness.
Because it's something that I had been wanting for decades and I had been looking forward to it. And then I've been wanting to get an RV and then I couldn't do it. And so I was sad about it. And what was irritating is that you were dismissive about how I felt about it.
I didn't know it was a real sadness.
Right. And so you were like, just get over it. I'm like,
I
I'm
was
not
concentrating on the earth closing.
I'm trying to get over it, but I'm still sad. And so that's why I was moping around.
And I was like,
the earth is closed, so it's closed. I mean, it's like
everybody can't do the whole world can't do nothing that they wanted to do.
The earth is closed. And so it's closed. We're not going nowhere. So what else is there to be concerned about?
What do you mean?
I mean,
people
it was already closed.
Dying.
I know that, but I'm talking about in terms of the earth being closed. Like you couldn't go nowhere, couldn't do nothing. And we didn't go nowhere to do anything.
Right, because there was a freaking disease out there killing everybody. So you couldn't go all over all these places.
Right, and we weren't
That was
going.
another reason why it wasn't a good idea to be going cross country.
That's exactly why we didn't go.
Something.
That's exactly why we didn't go.
Exactly. So that's where my mind was. It wasn't about, and then
you were
I
just
had
like, just get over it. You can't go nowhere. It's a pandemic. I'm like, I know it's a pandemic, but I'm sad because I had planned on this thing for the last 6 years and now we can't do it because it's a pandemic.
Right.
And so she was like, just get a, maybe you can get a van.
Right.
So I was like, can I?
Yeah, I was like, but you had been looking at vans, hadn't you?
I have been looking at RVs, vans for the last 15 years. So, I mean, that wasn't nothing new. So anyway, when you said get a van, I was like, we're going to go to New Jersey and get that one.
Yeah, okay. Yep, that's what we did.
And then it turned out to be a lemon.
Oh, my God.
Straight lemon.
Yeah.
Now it's just going to be used as a...
towing.
Not a towing, but like not a storage, but a hauling.
Hauling, that's the word I meant.
Hauling. If we buy some furniture or if we needed anything.
We still need to haul some stuff to Goodwill from the garage right now.
Yeah, we'll just throw it in the van. Or like when we do podcasts in other locations, I'll use that to carry my stuff in.
It's enough room in there because you took everything out of it.
Yeah, I did.
It's ready.
Yeah, I mean, I gutted it to fix it, but then it started breaking down. I don't want to talk about it because I get upset.
We didn't really, did we tell them where we got the Heath and Bernie show for our honeymoon video?
I think we did in our
in another video,
anniversary video. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
But okay, so stay tuned for the next video that we have and the clips that we have. Please like them and subscribe to our channel. And do all the YouTube things and all the follow things. We appreciate that.
Yep.
Okay. Bye. See you next time.
Bye.